Ooh, wow. Where is this place? Where am I? It's just as expected. Hey everyone. How's it going? Let's see who's here. Noah Deeps. Welcome. World Soap. Namjoon, Amui, Kendi, Daniel, Tiffany Stemade. 어디 계세요? That's a good question. I've never been this early. Nice. Yeah, so hold on. Let me just back up and show you a little bit. So I was just driving well actually I was just I was just in this area and riding my bike. And I was riding my bike around here. Fortunately, I had my whiteboard with me, of course, because I knew my lesson was going to start soon. So I was riding my bike around this area, and suddenly my bike just stopped working, and I've been stuck. So I mean, I could walk, but I'm really not sure how long it would take. It could be days to walk out of this area. So in the meantime, I mean, I brought my board, and I brought some caffeine drink, so I'm good for now. But I don't know. I just have to wait around here and hope that someone shows up to get me out of here. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting for a car to come or someone to come or anyone to come, I figured I can do our regular lesson for today. So yes, welcome everyone. Oh, Himang, welcome. Let's see. Automated bike. No, it's a regular bike. You know, the chain fell off and the handlebars fell off. You know, just one of those days. Watch out for bears. Kikat's not here right now, so it's okay. Tiffany Stay, you wrote 도움을, but 필요하다 is a descriptive verb. Thanos snapped your bike. Nice. Yeah, we'll get started shortly. Just a few quick announcements before we start. As usual, the worksheets are all uploaded onto. Well, let me make sure this is recording. I guess it's recording. I just don't see it. Where's the file? Okay, well, it's probably getting recorded somewhere. Okay. Yeah, just so you know, so all of the worksheets and outlines are available on Patreon. So if you're a $1 Patreon or higher, you can get access to those. So including, actually, today's outline will go up right after it finishes, and today's worksheet is already up. I believe this time it is 14 or 16 questions related to today's topic, so you can practice translating and practice those for today. We're going to be learning about how to say to and from a person. So it's kind of related to last week's stream, but it's going to be a different topic. And another thing to point out is that this is the third week in a row that I've done a live stream. So next Sunday, there will be no live stream. So I do 3 on and then 1 off. So yeah, I'll say that again though later in the lesson in case you're not here. So yeah, next Sunday, there will be no live stream. But the next Sunday there will. So just this next coming Sunday we'll take a break. Let's see. Kate June. Yes, welcome Kate June, our member. Hey, I'm cooking. What are you cooking? It's like riding a bike in Pokemon. Yes, my bike broke down. What's up with the quality? Are you getting bad quality? Today it should be fine. It shows me my quality is perfect right now, at least on YouTube's end. Don't say Pokemon. Are you serious? I'm speaking American English. We say Pokemon, okay? I grew up with Pokemon. Of course, in Japanese it's Pokemon, Pokemon, but it's Pokemon, Poke. Like the little horse in Gumby and Pokey. I think the quality is good. Okay, yeah, it should be good. I mean, if it's not good, then YouTube is lying to me. So I think it's right. Poke a man. Poke a man. Find a man and poke him. They don't say it that way in the American show. Pokemon. Well, they say Pokemon, sure, but it's Pokemon, okay? I was a Pokemon fan before it was cool, all right? I liked Pokemon when I was in 5th grade. That would have been, let's see, 1994. 1994. No, that would have been too early. That was when I was 8. How old was I? Would have been in 5th grade, so 10 or 11. It's 1996-ish. My friend had a VHS tape my friend had one of the original VHS tapes introducing Pokemon to the US. And it was a little like a 30-minute tape that introduced the characters and stuff. Before the show was even on the air, they released a bunch of videotapes to help promote it to kids. And in that tape, they pronounce it as Pokemon, okay? They say Pokemon. This was before it was even on the show, my friend had that tape and we watched it. All right. So I think I get a pass. I can say Pokemon however I want, as long as I'm not saying Pokemon. VHS Billy. Yeah, it came in the US, I think around 1997 or 1996. So that was right when it was 1996, right when it came out. They gave some VHS copies of tapes to kids as kind of a way to promote the show was coming out, that they were going to promote that they were going to have card games and everything else like that. But at that time, it was just a popular show. They were giving out tapes. Yeah, that's right. It was just a thing. They were giving out tapes at that time. All right. So yeah, we still got a few minutes before we start. I always start 10 minutes early just in case if there are stream problems, or there have been, or just to say hi to everyone. So yeah, if you came in early, don't worry. We'll get started right at 2. So don't worry about this. We're wasting time on purpose. The prerequisites for today are knowing the yo form. So standard conjugation, and that's it. If you can conjugate a verb normally, you don't need any special tricks, then you know enough for today's lesson. Including the past tense, so like hada. Let's take an example. These pens are just terrible. They're so hard to open. Okay. I like the new purple pens that I got though. Okay, hada, for example, verb to do. You should be able to conjugate it, of course, for the present tense, 해요, the past tense, 했어요, And the future tense, perhaps 하겠습니다 or 할 거예요. So you should be familiar with regular conjugation as well as the 고 있다. So 하고 있어요, like you are currently doing something. So not too much, as long as you're not a total beginner, like you just started learning this week or something. As long as you're not a total beginner, you should be fine with today's lesson. So it's going to be a very basic topic, but at the end of the class today, at the end of the live stream, I will open up for another goes. Maybe we can finish by 3. Maybe we can make this an hour-long lesson, and then we can have a nice 20 or 30 minutes for a Q&A. We'll see how it goes. I thought that last time, but then we ended up taking an hour and a half for the lesson. So we'll see. As intermediate, will I take something new away from today's lesson? Let me think about that. If you're really an intermediate, like not high beginner, but really an intermediate, I would say not much. You might get like a little tiny thing here or there, like, you know, an abbreviation for a word. Maybe you didn't know an abbreviation, or maybe like a specific difference between using something and not using something, but probably not much. However, the third word we're going to learn, que, for how to say to and from, itself is an intermediate concept. So if you already know that, then likely not. Pokemon. Yeah, them Pokemons. Pokemons. That's right. Yeah, Pokemons. Because it wasn't English at that time. It was just the Japanese word straight written down in English. So they didn't know how they're supposed to say it. Pokemon. I had memorized the entire, Namjoonies. Yeah. Don't call yourself stupid. No one's stupid. Unless you're actually stupid. You're not stupid, okay? If you've been trying to learn Korean for a long time and it's just not sticking, you're just not learning it in a good way. It doesn't have to do with your intelligence. You might need to try different materials, or you might need to set a learning schedule. Maybe you're not actually studying, despite thinking you're studying. Maybe your study methods are crazy and they're not actually working, but it doesn't have to do with your intelligence. So yeah. Yeah, I can call myself stupid all I want, but you guys shouldn't. That's how it works. The A accent is French. That's right. Pokemon. Tu voudrais cracher tout. I'm not sure how you'd say we have to catch them all in French. If anyone's French in here, let me know how I can say gotta catch them all in French. No one is stupid except for Charsu. That's right. Is this lesson going to get more advanced near the end? Hyunjae Aesthetics asks. In the lesson, no. It's going to be a beginner lesson. So if you're not familiar with all these concepts we're learning today, then yeah, stick along. But at the end, we're going to have a Q&A. So if you have an advanced level question or just something more difficult, then you can feel free to ask it then. So yes, later on it will get more advanced, but not within the lesson time frame. Okay, we still got 1 more minute and then we'll start. Let's see. I'll skip today's stream then. All right. Well, the only thing is you'll just miss the Q&A because I always edit out anything except the lesson itself. So, all right. Let's see here. That is it. Last week we learned about how to say to and from a location. And how to say to and from a time. So I just give a quick refresher, although today's lesson we're not going to be learning about those again. We just give a quick refresher on those. So last time we learned how to say to and from a location. So location에서, another location, 까지. So to a location from some other location, as well as we learned how to say to and from a time, time부터, and then another time, 까지. So from a time to a time, or to and from a certain time, and location. And today we're going to learn how to say to and from a person. Because to and from a person, well, you might think you just learned something new and then, you know, 까지 here again, right? But no. Hopefully you didn't think that, but maybe you thought 가지 would come into play again, but no, it does not. So today's lesson has nothing to do with last week's lesson at all. So if you're saying I gave it to him, that's different than saying 2, 3, like, or I guess maybe I'm giving a bad example. I got it from him would be different than saying I started from 3 o'clock or I studied from home, like that. So those are all different. It's not related to last week's topic. Only in English it seems related because it also uses to and from. Okay, let's see. So funny in French. 독일어로 Schnapsi der Al. I guess that's gotta catch them all. Schnapsi der Al. I can't speak German, so. 에서부터까지. California is a state that many Americans are avoiding. I don't think so. I'm in California right now, and it's not dangerous. It's kind of a random comment. All right, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to be learning how to say is to a person, and that is 에게. Now, it does look similar to the previous particles that we learned, 에, 서, or 에. And if we're getting really technical here, okay, if we're going to get really technical here, it is related to a. It is a. And you'll see that more later on. But some people might have been asking about like passive voice. Like I know last time we got a question about, we learned about 에 and 에서. And someone asked, hey, Billy, is this a the same a that's used in passive when there's an inanimate object? Now, this isn't a beginner concept. This would be more intermediate or advanced. But yes, it is the same a, as well as it's the same a here. So technically, they are related, but in meaning-wise, no. This ege means to. There's another a that also means to a person. Sorry, not to a person, but to an inanimate object. And that's related to this as well. So yeah, we're not going over that today, but it is related technically. So ege means to, and the way you use it is you simply take a person. So we'll just put charsu here. Person, ege. And we have to a person. That's all there is to it. But let me give you an example. So let's do our first example. Let's say I said it to him. So we're going to start with 저는, I. Then let's do him. So who will he be? Well, let's just say charsu because it's easy. You could put a different person's name. Remember that Korean does not say he and she. So if you've seen the words 그 or 그녀, do not use these. He and she, these are not ever used to mean he and she, except when you're translating something literally. Like if you just need to make a literal translation, perhaps for like a textbook. You're writing a English teaching textbook and you just need a word to translate he, then 그 or 그녀, he or she. Otherwise, these words are never actually used in Korean. You will not say he. You will only say one of the regular ways to say a person in Korean. So you might use a title, or you might use a person's name. And I did a previous live stream all about how to say you and he or she. So you can check that out later if you have time. So 저는 철수에게 I 철수 to, or I to 철수. Now we're going to say said. So I said it to 철수. Well, say or talk is 말하다. To say something, 말하다. So we're going to say past tense. So 철수에게 말했어요. This is why you need to know the standard conjugation for today's lesson. 저는 철수에게 말했어요. I said it, or I said something to 철수. 저는 철수에게 말했어요. Now, if we didn't have 철수에게 in the sentence, it would still be perfectly okay. 저는 말했어요. I said it. Well, said it to who? Well, I said it 철수에게 말했어요. Also, notice the order that we have this in. It's not 저는 말했어요 철수에게. It's not like in English, I said to 철수, but it's I to 철수 said it. You can think of this 에게 kind of like an arrow pointing this way, if it helps. So you're going to be going backward whenever you're saying to. So it's always to a person, and then after which you'll say what you did to that person, toward that person. So here, said to 철수. So keep that in mind. I've seen some beginners mess up the order of this, and they'll say like 저는 했어요, 저는 말했어요, 철수에게, like that order, because they think it means just it can come after. But actually it has to be used before whatever you're doing. So just like an adverb comes always before a verb in Korean, this also has to come before the verb. So it will never come after the verb, whatever you're doing to a person. So 철수에게, and then 말했어요. Okay, that's just our first example. So let's move on to another example. Oh yeah, actually, the first tip I want to give you guys is that anytime you have any sort of communication verb, so that includes 말하다, to speak, 듣다, to listen, 물어보다, to ask, 알리다, to inform. There's a lot of these. 전하다, to convey. And you might not be using some of these if you're still a beginner, especially 전하다. 전화하다, to call, like to telephone. So anytime you have, oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to say is that anytime you have a communication verb, you will always use to mark who you're saying it to. Now, it doesn't have to be 에게. We'll learn another word for to soon, but it has to be, you have to say to whenever you're using one of these communication verbs. The reason I'm telling you that is in English, you will say, I called 철수. I called him. I told him. 말하다. I heard from him. I asked him directly, right? You just say, I asked him. Actually, 듣다 is not a good example. 듣다 is always, we always say that anyway in English. So let me just rewrite this to make it a little easier. Save you some time. Okay. 전화하다 and, oops. So let me say this again. Okay. Anytime you have any sort of communication word, communication verb, like 말하다 to say, 전화하다 to call, 물어보다 to ask, 알리다 to inform, 전하다 to convey. Anytime you have any sort of verb that shows communication like these, you have to mark the person you're doing that to with to in Korean, never with the object marker. So in English, you would say, I told him. But in Korean, you would say, I told to him. In English, you would say, I called 철수. Well, in Korean, you have to say, I called to 철수. 철수에게 전화했어요. In English, you would say, I asked the teacher. In English, you have to, in Korean, you have to say, I asked to the teacher. 알리다. Now this one, these two are more for intermediates, but 알리다 would be like to inform. So like, I informed him we can't go, or I informed him there's a problem. In Korean, you have to say, I informed to him. The same goes with to convey. I conveyed to him that something. So you have to use a to whenever you have any sort of communicating verb like these. And there are others, but these are some of the most common ones. Okay, so just like we had previously with 철수에게 말하다, you would not say 철수를 말했어요. The object marker would only be for what it is that you said, or what it is that you conveyed, or what it is that you called, or something like that. You have to use 에게 for the person who you're communicating to. Always. So that's a pro tip. Okay, so let's give another example. 친구에게, so now we have to a friend, 주고 싶어요. So this one I want to ask you. We have 친구에게 주고 싶어요. I want to give it, 주다, to give, 주고 싶어요. I want to give something to a friend. If I wanted to add a present, if I wanted to give my friend a present, How would I say that in Korean? Go ahead and give it a guess. If you're intermediate or advanced, you can feel free to try this too. But for the beginners out there, how would you say, I want to give a present to my friend? So go ahead and give it a try. Where would you put that word? How would you say it? And I'll check the chat for a moment. There's a Charsu and Mystic Messenger. What's that? Saphrax asked about Ante. Yeah, we're going to be learning about those next. Noah Deeps. Too easy. 선물을 주고 싶어. Kate June, you just have a typo. But yes, you have the right answer too. 선물을 주고 싶어요. 선물을 주고 싶어요. Okay, nice. 친구에게 희망 in Korea. Yes, 싶어요. Nice. Okay. Okay. So yes, if you wanted to give a present, 선물, optional if you want to add the object marker. So 친구에게, let me check the chat. I got a donation. Nice. Alex Full Metal. I love these purple markers. They're so nice to write with. Alex Full Metal, thank you for the $2 donation. I got to give you a dab for that. Pokmon. So you get a Pokmon dab. Yes, thank you. And so for this sentence we have 친구에게 선물을 주고 싶어요. So I want to give a present to a friend. Notice this verb order. Notice the order of these in the sentence. To a friend, a present I want to give. You could also say 선물을 친구에게 주고 싶어요. I want to give the present to a friend. But it's not necessary to emphasize that. The object that you're doing something. So whenever you have a verb with an object, I recommend putting that object directly before the verb. After any to. So if you wanted to say, I will tell him, you can just say 철수에게 말하다, to say to someone. But if you wanted to say something specific, you want to mark exactly what you're saying. You're saying something to them. Well, what you would mark would be with the object marker, and you would do that right before the verb. So just like here, we have 선물을 주고 싶어요, right before the verb. 선물, what it is that we're giving. And then before that, who it is to. So I'll say that again. You could rearrange these if you want, but it wouldn't be as natural. It would have a different emphasis. Putting this in front of the object instead, if you were to switch them, it would be like saying, I want to give a present to a friend. You're not a friend, or that's not a friend. I want to give it to a friend, especially like that. It's not going to be natural. 친구에게 선물을 주고 싶어요. So I want to give a present to a friend. So always use the object that you're doing directly before that verb. And then, after that, you can have to whoever it's for. So just kind of pay attention to the sentence structure, the way that it works. Okay, let's do another example. We can do this. 되게 줘. Okay. Let's learn some common. Actually, I take that back. Let's learn some abbreviations in Korean. Let's learn some contractions. 내게 줘. So 주다, to give. This is just casual. Like 내 is 나에게. So you might see 내게. 내게 is just 나에게, to me, shortened. Okay, let's do another one. I think this would be 되게. Okay. You might also see 되게. That means 저에게. But I have to tell you something about these though. So we have 내게 can become 나에게 can become 내게, and 저에게 can become 제게. So you can have 되게 줘요 or 주세요 or something like that. And you can have 내게 줘. These are contractions that exist, but I should make a disclaimer. Even though it looks cool that it's a shortened contraction, and even though there are other cases where contractions are really common, for example, 나의, always, most of the time, becomes 내, like that's mine, 나의. This is a different contraction. This contraction is not common. Both of these are not common. So, be aware that they exist. You might sometimes see 내게 used in like a cartoon or animation, or maybe a book uses it, or someone uses it on chat, but it's not so commonly used besides that. More often people would just say 나에게 or 저에게. Especially this one is really not that common. So learn that they exist, 내게 and 제게, but also know they're not that common. So I wouldn't recommend using them very much. And let's do one more sentence and then we'll move on to our next form for today. Okay. 철수가 나에게 거짓말. 거짓말 means a lie. 거짓, it means false, a falsity, and 말 means words. So this is a false word. And that's how they say lie. 거짓말했어요. 거짓말하다 means to lie. So 철수가 나에게 to me. Actually, let's just change it to 했어, since it's not. It's casual anyway. 철수가 나에게 거짓말했어. 철수 to me lied. 철수 lied to me. 철수가 나에게 거짓말했어. 철수 lied to me. So that's our last example for this form, and let's move on to our next form, which is actually even easier than this form. Kate June, I want a nickname. Someone said, yeah, I was going to say I rarely see 되게. That's right. Yeah, you rarely see 되게 as well as those other shortened versions like that. The next one we're going to learn how to say is from. And that is 에게 서. Now, this 서 is completely optional. You might see it with 서. You might see it without 서. It's the exact same meaning. So, that means that 에게 could mean to, or 에게 could mean from, right? If this 서 is optional, then how do you know if it means to and how do you know if it means from? You will always know by the context. You will always know if 에게 means to or from by the context of the sentence. Now that might sound a little bit weird, but if you think about it, it makes perfect sense in Korean. So first of all, 에게, 서, or just 에게. Now, 에게 is also for a person, and this means from. It could also be an animate object. Sorry, it could be some sort of, any sort of alive creature or person can use 에게. So it's not just to and from a person, but I should clear this up. It's also to and from an animal. If you're writing a story that has a talking animal or a story that has an animal in it, and you want to say to an animal or from an animal, you would also use 에게. So although I said it's to and from a person, it also works for any sort of thing that's alive. So yeah, let me tell you an example then first. So I told you 에게 and 에게서 can mean from. So 에게 can mean both to and from, right? Then depending on the context. So let's look at an example. 저는 철수에게 철수에게서, let's do 철수에게서 들었어요. So 듣다 means to hear. So 들었어요, I heard. I heard, 저는 I, 철수에게서. So 에게서 has to mean from. Although I said 에게 could mean to and from, if you put 서, it has to mean from 100% of the time. So 에게서 From 철수, I heard. 저는 철수에게서 들었어요. I heard it from 철수. But as I said, 서 is completely optional. So now we can just do 에게, and that's perfectly fine. Now, I said you'll always know if 에게 means to or from by the context of the sentence. So what is the context of this sentence? We have 철수에게서, we have 저는 철수에게 들었어요. Could this possibly mean I heard it to 철수? I heard it to 철수. It makes no sense. It has to mean from. Now, in English, this is really strange because you think, no, to and from are different. They're completely different directions. But in Korean, you'll always know whether it means to or from because of the verb that will come after it. If it's something like to say, well, it has to be to. If it's something like to hear, if it's something that you're receiving, it has to mean from. So in this case, 듣다, to hear. You cannot hear something to a person. You hear something from a person. So 저는 철수에게 들었어요 means I heard it from 철수. Let's do our next example. Okay. 친구, so we have friend, 에게서, from a friend. 친구에게서 받았어요. I received it or I got it from a friend. But we could also just say, oops, I forgot that's not magnetic. We could also just say 친구에게 받았어요. I got it to a friend? No, I got it from a friend. 친구에게 받았어요. I got it from a friend. So I just want to make this clear that you will never be confused whether it means to or from in a sentence. Let's do another one. 저는 let's not do 철수. Let's give 철수 a little bit of break. 빌리시. So now we have me. 빌리시. I'm going to write it down here. I should write it up there, but there's no space. 에게서 한국어, Korean를 배웠어요. 배우다 means to learn. So 배웠어요 is I learned. So 한국어를 배웠어요 by itself means I learned Korean. 한국어를 배웠어요. 저는 빌리 씨에게서 from Billy. 빌리 씨에게서 한국어를 배웠어요. So again, we have the object 한국어를 배우다, to learn Korean. These come directly in this order. So it's not 한국어를 빌리 씨에게서 배웠어요, unless you wanted to emphasize it was Billy, unless you wanted to emphasize it was me. So it's always 한국어를 배웠어요 in this order. 저는 빌리 씨에게서 I learned Korean from Billy. 저는 빌리 씨에게서 한국어를 배웠어요. Or 저는 빌리 씨에게 한국어를 배웠어요. I learned Korean from Billy. Now, let's do something else here. Now, we have 한국어를 배웠어요 here, right? 빌리 씨에게 한국어를, well, we could change that verb. Instead of 배우다, instead of to learn, what if we were to change it to 가르치다, to teach? So now we're going to have 가르쳤어요. So now we have 한국어를 가르쳤어요. I taught Korean. Now what does this say? 빌리 씨에게. Does this mean I taught Korean from Billy? That doesn't really make sense. I taught Korean from Billy. I taught Korean 빌리 씨에게 to Billy. I taught Korean to Billy. 저는 빌리 씨에게 한국어를 가르쳤어요. But you might be saying, well, what if I really wanted to say I taught Korean from Billy? Okay, if you really wanted to say that, you could do something like this. This would not make sense in this context. I would need a better situation. I would need a better sentence to make this make sense. But if you were to say 빌리 씨에게서 한국어를 가르쳤어요. The sentence would be wrong because it would sound awkward. But 에게서 would 100% only mean from. So if you have a situation where you really want to make sure that you're saying from and you're not quite sure if 에게 would be clear enough, then you can still add 에게서 just to be 100% clear that you're saying from. So that's what I wanted to say, is that anytime it's already clear, you don't need, and that'll be pretty much all the time, you don't need to say 에게서. You can just do 에게 for both to and from. All right. And let's do one more example, and then we'll go to the chat for just a moment. So this one is 누구, so who, 누구에게서. So from who, 초대. 초대 means an invitation. Now this isn't the invitation, a piece of paper invitations. This is just the concept of being invited somewhere. There's a different word for the actual card, invitation card. This is just an invitation. 초대를 받았어요. So again, we have 받다, to receive. So we know automatically this 에게 or 에게서 are going to mean from. 누구에게서, from who. Or 누구에게 초대를 받았어요. Sorry, this should be a question. 누구에게 초대를 받았어요? Oh, I got a super donate. Oh, cool. Let me check. Let's check the chat. 포야 S. 229. Okay, I came late. What did I miss? If you are a beginner, you didn't miss much because we're still doing 에게 and 에게서. If you are a little bit more than a super beginner, then you didn't miss anything. Well, that's not true. You might have missed something, but not too much. So thank you. Oh, I got to do a dab. Got to do another Pokemon dab. Pokmon. Thank you. Okay, so 누구에게서 초대를 받았어요? So from who? 에게서 or 누구에게. From who? Invitation received. So from who did you receive an invitation? Or who did you receive an invitation from? 누구에게 초대를 받았어요? 누구에게 초대를 받았어요? From who did you receive? Sorry, I think it should be from whom. But anyway, from who did you receive an invitation? Well, I got an invitation from Billy. I got an invitation from 철수. 철수에게서 초대를 받았어요. 철수에게 초대를 받았어요. Both have the same meaning of I received an invitation from 철수, because it has to mean from, because we have 받다, to receive. It cannot mean who did we receive an invitation to. That wouldn't make any sense since we're talking about a person here. Okay, we're going to go on to our next concept, which is Tante and 안테서. But before we do you have any quick questions? Any quick questions? Because we are on time today. So we do have a little bit of time for some questions. Like 2 minutes. Yeah, we got Pokemon dabs today. So we had Pokmon and we had Pokmon. 저는 마카로니를 제 가족에게 줄 것입니다. I will give macaroni to my family. Kate June, grammatically yes, but remember what I said about how you arrange the object in the sentence. So what it is that you are doing, whatever it is that you are doing something to, so whatever object is in your sentence, which will be marked with the object marker, will come directly before the verb, even in front of the 에게. But here I see you have 마카로니를 in the beginning, but it should be before 주다, to give. I want to be the very... I shouldn't sing because I don't know if YouTube will claim this video. Magician... There ever was, yeah, it's good. Change the lyrics and then we can sing it. To use fonts is my real test. I used to have the whole Poke Rap memorized. And I don't mean like the introduction song. I mean the ending Poke Rap. There was one long song that they split up into pieces and they would put them in order at the end of each episode. I want to be the best there ever was. I shouldn't sing too much of that. You won't get claimed for that song anymore. I don't know. But yeah, I knew all the Pokemon. I collected them all the way up until the end of junior high, and then it kind of died out. And then I gave all my cards away to a friend who was playing. One of my friend's little brothers has my foil Charizard and a bunch of other valuable stuff. But it's cool. He really was happy. I heard in a song, suike is not supposed to be suita. Maya, I'm not sure what your question is. You can use suita for can. 마카로니를 줄 것입니다. Yeah, Kate-June, that's better order. How old are you, Billy? That's a good question. I'm 33, right? I was born in 86, so I'm 33. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm 33. Okay, so next we're going to be learning about 한테서. Now, it's actually 한테서 with a hiat here, but the pronunciation of this becomes more like 안테서 in most cases. And that's not an exception. That's just because typically the hiat in Korean is a very soft sound. So unless it comes directly before a consonant that would make this have a special sound, it's not going to have a strong sound. So I'll show you what I mean. So if you have 철수한테, 철수한테, 철수한테 it's not 철수한테, 철수한테. It pretty much just becomes ante. Now that just has to do, like I said, with a lot of words that start with this letter. But especially for this one. So 철수한테. So you're not going to say 철수한테. Just know that. This is a very soft case where you barely hear it. You can hear it in some cases, but it's not going to ever be 한테. Like 한국, Korea, starts with this letter, but it's never 안국. It's always 한국. Technically, this is 한테, but people always say, whenever it's in a sentence, they'll say it as ante. Okay, so this one has the same usage as 에게 and 에게서. By that I mean the 서 is optional in both of these. 한테 means to, 한테서 means from, but 한테 can also mean both to and from, just like 에게서. Now there are some slight differences though. 에게 and 에게서 are both used pretty frequently. 에게 and 에게서 are a bit formal sounding. So anytime you're using like formal speech or you want to write something down and make it sound official, 에게 is your go-to. 에게 or 에게서. Both of these are really common, but they are formal sounding. If you are speaking colloquial, I think that's colloquial, regular common day speech, 한테 and 한테서 are used a million times more often than 에게 and 에게서. So if you're wondering why you don't hear 에게 or 에게서 that much, it's because it's used more in formal context. So when you're speaking, even if you're speaking casually, use 한테 or 안테서. Another thing, I got a donation. That's not the other thing, but that is a other thing. 디셰이 좋아커. If we reach 10 donations, will you do the Poke Rep? The only problem is I don't remember all the words to it because that was back in junior high school. I remember that when Yu-Gi-Oh came out, Yu-Gi-Oh kind of pushed Pokemon away. And people started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, like from that moment, Pokemon kind of died as soon as Yu-Gi-Oh! Came out. So that kind of replaced it. And after that, I kind of just forgot the words. I could like find the lyrics. If I find the lyrics online, yeah, I could definitely do it because it wasn't that hard. But I used to have it all memorized and all in order. And I really don't know if my video would get copyright claimed if I sang the Poke Rap. in this video. So if someone wants to research that for me. But anyway, in the meantime, thank you for your donation. I'll give you a dab. This is the Pikachu dab. Thank you. So what I also wanted to say is that hante and hanteso, of these, hanteso is rarely used. I'll just say that. Hante is used much more often than hanteso. Even when you want to say for, use ante. So this is the standard one, and I would recommend definitely knowing both because you will see ege and egeso and anteso all the time. But if you're just wondering, which one should I use when I'm speaking Korean? You know, whether you're speaking Korean with a friend or even whether you're speaking Korean with someone who you're being polite to, use ante. Just ante. It's the most common of them and it sounds the most natural. Now, anteso is fine too if you really want to say from. But I'll just let you know that even when you're saying from, most of the time people just use ante. Hopefully that's clear. Let's do an example. So again, you don't have to learn any special rules because I said they work the same way as ege and egeso. So let's do 빌리 씨한테 빌리 씨한테 선물을 받았어요. So we have our similar sentence from before, to receive a present. 빌리 씨한테 from Billy 선물을 받았어요. 빌리 씨한테 선물을 받았어요. I received a present 빌리 씨한테 from Billy. Or you could say 빌리 씨한테서 선물을 받았어요. I received a present from Billy. That's all there is to it. Or 빌리 씨한테 선물을 줬어요. I gave 빌리 씨한테 선물을 줬어요. I gave a present to Billy. Now it cannot mean from because now we have give. You can't say I gave a present from Billy unless the present is from Billy, then you would say you wouldn't say it that way anyway. You would say I got a present that Billy gave me. A present that was from Billy is what you'd say. So yeah, 빌리 씨한테 선물을 줬어요. I gave a present to Billy. Let's do the next example. Okay, 그거. So that thing, 그거 is 그것. 그것, same thing.
Okay.
I didn't talk to you. Google, what are you doing? Suddenly randomly my Google Assistant just popped up and started talking to me. And it just said, oh, okay. All right. Okay, 그거 누구한테. So listen to the pronunciation. 누구한테. It's not 누구한테. 누구한테. 그거 누구한테 들었어? 듣다 means to hear. So 들었어 means heard. So past tense. So who did you hear that from? 그거, that thing. 누구한테, from who? 들었어? Who did you hear that from? 그거 누구한테 들었어? So who told you? Who did you hear that from? You could also say 누구한테서 들었어, but it's not necessary because it has to mean from in this context. Just take a look at that for a second. Let's see the chat. Billy's phone is haunted. 그거, I think you're right. I thought 그거 was okay, 그거? Okay, 그거? Okay, 그거. What time? It is. It is. It does. It thinks I'm saying its name. Oh, hold on. We got a donation. Oh no. 그거.com. My favorite search engine, 그거. That thing. 그거.
Here is some information about
Oh,
a young girl is left
no.
alone in her house.
Okay, I get it. Hold on, I got a new member. New member, welcome. Let's see who it is. Oh, Vex Hill. Welcome. Gonna give you a dab. I did the Pikachu dab last. Oh man. All right, I did the Pikachu dab last, so this time let's do the Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur. Thank you. Welcome, new member. I love getting new members. More members, the merrier. The more members I have, the more emoticons I can put in the chat. So I can add new animated emoticons. They also go in the Discord too. All right. Yeah, I just died. I don't know what time it is. Okay, 2:40. All right. How are we on time? All right, we're not too bad on time. Okay. I was so confused. I'm like, why did it start talking to me? I didn't even say it until I read someone pointed it out. It's Google. Okay. This is a really common phrase. 저한테는 Notice that it's not quite 저한테는. It's 저한테, 저한. There's a little bit of that the hiat sound in here when you say it, but it's not 저한테. It's not 저한테, but it's not 저한테. So it's really soft. It's there, but it's not strong. 저한. Notice 저한테는. Literally, to me, plus the topic marker. 저한테는, so to me, this is how you can give your opinion. Well, this is one way that you can start to talk about your opinion. 저한테는, to me, in my opinion, 철수가 친절해요. 철수 is friendly. 저한테는, anything you want to say. Oh, I got a new member, girl next door. Hey, girl next door. Girl next door. Girl next door. It's a cool username. Remember, I gotta give you the Charmander. You get the Charmander dab. So I did Pikachu, Bulbasaur, and Charmander. Although everyone always does Pikachu, or maybe Charmander. Okay, the Charmander. Charmander. Thank you. Welcome, my new member. I don't know what I'll do for the next dab though, because that's all the original 3. So maybe like a Professor Oak dab or something like that. Okay. 저한테는. So this is how you say your opinion. One of the ways. And then you can follow it up with your opinion on whatever you want to say. Now, this one is good because you don't need to know how to say I think that in Korean. You don't need to learn the 생각하다 or the 같다 form. You can just start your sentence with this, and it's a very beginner way to say, a very basic way to say your opinion. Well, to me, and then you just say your opinion. Well, that movie was great. 저한테는 그 영화가 재밌어요. To me, that movie is fun. So that's all you have to do. It's just an easy way to express your opinion. Literally means to me. Oh yeah, let's do another one. Let's do another one kind of like that. So this one is 미국 사람. So 미국 사람, American. 미국 사람들, I'll write down here. 한테는 So 미국 사람들한테는, so to American people, 한국어가 Korean language, 어렵다, 어려워요. Korean is 어렵다, difficult. 미국 사람들, Americans, 한테는 to Americans, 한국어가 Korean language is 어려워요, difficult. 미국 사람들한테는 한국어가 어려워요. To Americans, Korean is difficult. Oh, I got another donation. Carol Lindner. Oh no. Ugh, I got ink all over my hands from touching the board. And this pen doesn't want to close. Okay. Carol. Carol Lintner. Carol L. Awesome. I got to give you a dab too. Carol, thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. I already did the Pikachu, Bulbasaur, and Charmander. So I guess I should do the Professor Oak dab. I can't remember how Professor Oak talks, though, in the cartoon. Hey, Pikachu. I think his voice was just pretty normal. Maybe I'll do the Ash dab, because I can do Ash's voice. Hey, Pikachu! Pikachu! Use your Thunderbolt! That's the only one's voice that I can do is Pikachu. Oh, what's this? Vexhill again. I can't pronounce your name. Vexhill. Wow, nice. $10 donation. That's huge. I gotta see what else can I do. Squirtle. Squirtle, you're right. I didn't do Squirtle. I did Bulbasaur and Charmander and Pikachu, but I didn't do Squirtle. Okay, thanks. Here's your Squirtle dab. Squirtle! 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 Thank you. Let's go back to the lesson, please. 미국 사람들한테는 to Americans들 한국어가 어려워요. Korean is difficult to Americans. 미국 사람들한테는 한국어가 어려워요. So notice that you can use this to, 한테, with 는, 한테는, to express an opinion. So you're saying to Americans, well, in Americans' opinions, in their thoughts, as they see it, 한국어가 어려워요. Korean is difficult. So it's a really easy way to express an opinion without using any complicated grammar. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just breaking up here. It's like flashbacks because I haven't thought about Pokemon in like forever since like the original stuff came out. Okay. How are we on time? All right, we are terrible on time right now. I'm 2 sentences behind. 누구한테? So to who? 전해줄까? So now this is a different form. If you don't know the ga form, I do have another video about it. I think I did a live stream about it, but it's just a shall. Here, it's a shall we, shall I, shall we, that type of form. It has a few other meanings too, like would or could. But today, when it's used with with this form today, it's used just to mean shall. So, who, 누구한테, to who? 전하다. 전하다 means to convey. Now, this can mean convey information, or it could be convey something in person, like to physically convey a gift. Basically, to give or to tell. It just means convey. So, who should I tell that to? Who should I convey or give that to? We don't know if this is information or an object, but let's just say it's tell. 누구한테 전해줄까요? So, who should I tell that to? This 해주다 is also more of an intermediate form. So I apologize if you're a beginner and you're learning this form for your first time, and now you see Billy's putting in shall and 해주다 doing as a favor, and this new verb 전하다 meaning convey. This is more for intermediates who are watching. 누구한테 전해줄까? So who should I tell that to? Okay, let's go on. Next one. All right, 어떤 사람한테서? Okay, 어떤 has a few meanings. One of the meanings is what kind of. Like what kind of, what type. Like 어떤 포켓몬을 좋아해? Like what kind of Pokemon do you like? What type of Pokemon do you like? 어떤, what kind of person? 어떤 사람, what kind of person? But if you're using 어떤 and it's not a question. If it's not a question, it means some. Or like a person, someone, I'm not going to name. 어떤 사람 means some person or someone. So we'll just say some to keep it easy. Some. So it means some. If it's in a question, it means what kind of. If it's not in a question, it just means some. So here we have 어떤 사람 한테, or you can say 안테서. 어떤 사람한테 냄새. 냄새 means a bad smell. 냄새가 나다. 냄새가 나다 means literally a smell comes out. So 냄새가 나다 means to smell. Like a smell comes out, literally. So someone smells. 어떤 사람한테 from some person a smell comes out. Someone here smells. 어떤 사람한테 냄새가 나요. 어떤 사람한테 냄새가 나요. From someone there is a smell. So I smell someone. Someone smells here. Like that. 어떤 사람한테 냄새가 나요. From someone 한테 냄새가 나요. Now, just remember again, I'll say this again. 냄새 is a bad smell. You don't want to say, well, unless you say 좋은 냄새, unless you say 냄새가 좋아요, specifically, unless you're describing that the smell is good with 냄새, it'll mean bad, some sort of bad smell. If you don't want to do that, if you want to use a word that always means a good smell, you can use 향기. 향기 means more like fragrance, while 냄새 means smell. So just kind of like in English, if you say, oh, something smells. If you say something smells, it means something smells bad. But you could say something smells good. Otherwise, it means bad, right? So it's just like in English. You say, oh, he smells good. Okay, 냄새가 좋아요. Sure. Otherwise, he smells is bad. So 냄새가 나요. So 어떤 사람한테 냄새가 나요. Someone smells. A smell comes from someone. Oh, and you can use 향기 in the same way as 냄새. 향기가 나요. You can say 안 좋은 향기 if you want, a bad fragrance. But usually it's 좋은 향기, a good smell, a good fragrance. Or just 향기, nice smell. This is relevant to my Korean presentation. Billy would get so mad at me if I called him oppa. I don't think I would get mad. No, I have a couple friends who call me oppa. It's not, I don't get mad at it. But I don't expect it either. Because some girls like using oppa to older guys who are friends, and other girls don't like using it. So it also depends on your relationship. It depends on a lot of things. Okay. Now let's go on. Hopefully by now, you've seen how both ege and ege서, hopefully now you've seen how ege can mean both to and from, and you've seen how 한테 can also mean to and from. So if I tell you that this word means both to and from, it shouldn't be confusing. Now, there is only 게. This is not 게 and 게서. So some people have asked me before, hey Billy, can you tell me the difference between 게 and 게서? Because I've seen 게서 sometimes and I've seen 게 sometimes. These are not the same form. 게서 is actually part of a different combination with 게서 and 게서는, which are the the subject marker and the topic marker honorific forms. These are not related. Just 게. That's it. Only 게. There is no 게서 if it's from or 게 if it's to or anything like that. It's only 게. Now, if you're curious about the others, you can ask at the end of our lesson. I can maybe explain those. But 게 means to and it means from. And this is whenever you're speaking humbly about yourself towards someone else, or whenever you're speaking in honorific. So you're saying something like with honorifics, that would be something like 시 or 세요, like someone else, when you're talking about someone else and you want to be extra polite. So anytime you're talking extra politely about someone else, not yourself, use 게. So for clarity, I would never say 빌리께. I would never say 빌리께 to Billy because I am Billy. I would never say it. It sounds like I'm putting myself on a pedestal, like I am so important. It would only be someone else. So this would only be someone else that you want to show extra respect toward. Never yourself. However, 한테 and ege can be used for yourself all the time. That's fine. But never use 게 for yourself. Only use it for someone else. And only use it to someone who you're showing extra respect toward. Now, this doesn't mean that you only use it when you're speaking with the 입니다 form or 하세요 form. This is when you're talking about someone. So you can be talking with your best friend using casual speech and slang and even swears. But when you are talking about someone who you want to show extra respect to, even when you're talking slang with your friends, you will still use this 게 to refer to that other person, to show extra respect to that person. So this is, I just want to make that clear. This is not related to how you are just speaking with your friend. So don't write down that this is for like when you're formally speaking. No, this is when you are politely speaking about someone else, whether you're talking to them directly or talking about them somewhere else. So I could be talking with my friend, blah, 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 using slang, but I talk about my parents. I want to say to, actually, let me give a better example. My grandmother. I want to say to my grandmother, 할머니께. Even though I'm talking now still casually with my friend, I would say my grandmother gave me something, blah, 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 blah. 할머니께, I got a present from her. 할머니께 선물 받았어. So I'm still speaking casually, 받았어, but I'm talking 할머니께 from my grandmother. So that's how it works. And I did another lesson about politeness levels in a live stream, in a 2.5-hour live stream you can check out if you want to learn about that in depth. I'm not going to be talking about that for today's lesson, but anytime you're speaking politely about someone, use 게. So it means both to and it means from. So let's do an example. 선생님. Now 선생님 is teacher. Anytime you want to say to or from a teacher, as long as you're not trying to be disrespectful, always use 게 for teacher if you want to say to or from a teacher. As long as you want to show respect to them. 선생님께 선물을 드리다. Now, 드리다 means to give, means the same thing as 주다, but it's for humble speech. So this is past tense. 드렸어요. 드리다. I gave. 드렸어요. I gave 선물을, a present, to the teacher. Now, 드리다 means to give. And like I said, today's lesson is not about politeness levels, but I'll say really briefly. 드리다 means to give like this. It's to give up. It's being humble and offering up something to someone who you look up to, who you respect. So in this case, you respect the teacher. So you said, 선생님께 선물을 드렸어요. If, however, you were to say, 선생님에게 or 선생님한테 선물을 드렸어요, this sentence would sound awkward. When you are speaking humbly about towards someone or honorifically about someone, you must use 게 if you're saying to and from. If you don't, the sentence will sound awkward. Now, if you didn't say 드렸어요, but if you just said 선물을 줬어요, like I just gave him, then you would not want to use 게, because then now you're not really speaking honorifically or humbly about the teacher. You're just saying 주다, to give. You're just saying 줬어요, I just gave a present. 선생님한테 would be better. But because we're using 드리다, because we're using this honorific form of to give, you have to use 게 to match with it. So if you're speaking honorifics or humble speech, you must use 게 if you want to say to and from. That's what I want to make clear. And if you don't, the sentence will sound very awkward. So it's either better to be all the way honorific or not use it at all. Okay, how are we on time? Oh, we're perfect. Perfect on time again. Almost done. Only a few more sentences. Then we'll take questions. Oh yeah, similar. 선생님께 선물을. So how would I say I got a present from the teacher? This might be too basic, but give it a try. How would I say I got a present from the teacher? Since we're 1 minute ahead, I can do this. I got a present from the teacher. What's all these weird fonts? Ah. Let me just search that if the Pokemon song YouTube cover. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's still copyrighted. I shouldn't do it. I could do it like a different stream where I don't mind if they claim the copyright for it. 받았어요. Nice. 받았어요. Perfect. Don't ask ridiculous questions, Billy. Yes. Okay. 선생님께 선물을 받았어요. That's right. So I received, 받았어요. I got 선물을, a present. 선생님께, from the teacher. Before it was 선물을 드리다, to give a present. Now it's to receive, so that means 게 means from. So hopefully if you've been following along how you see ante, ege can both mean to and from. 게 meaning both to and from shouldn't be a foreign concept. You should be able to say, oh, okay, I get it. 선생님께. As long as you know the context of the sentence, here 받다, to receive, you can know easily if this means to or from. Okay, let's do, ow. The thing is these caps, these expo markers, they write really well, but their caps are like really tight. So it's really hard to put it on and really hard to take it off. I don't like that. I like the purple marker better. See, like, this is like, to take it off, really hard to take it off. Look at this purple one. See? It's not that hard. It's not that hard, Expo. This isn't even Expo. Maybe I got to change my sponsors to this 4 whiteboards dry erase marker branded, Volcanics brand, which was like some random discount brand. Maybe I should change my sponsor. I don't have a sponsor. Okay, next question. Next sentence. 저는, so I, 할아버지, so 할아버지, grandfather. 할아버지께 들었어요. 저는 I, 할아버지께, to my grandfather or from my grandfather, 들었어요. Heard. I heard it, 할아버지께, from my grandfather. 저는 할아버지께 들었어요. I heard it from my grandfather. 저는 할아버지께 말했어요. I said it. 할아버지께, to my grandfather. Right? Not I said it from my grandfather. 저는 할아버지께 말했어요. I said it to my grandfather. The end. That is all there is to it. So that was today's lesson, and we finished just on time. I wanted to finish this lesson by 3 o'clock without having to rush it. So that way we have time for a Q&A. Last time we didn't really have very much time for Q&A because the lesson itself went an hour and a half. But this time we do. Quick announcements again. Next Sunday has no class. Next Sunday I'm taking a break just to do some other work. I'm currently working on a new project. I hope that I can announce it soon. It's not gonna come out yet. If I work really, really hard and really, really fast, maybe it'll come out right before Christmas. But I can't make any promises because I've been working on it I actually started at the end of 2017, but I've been really, really working on it since the beginning of this year. So it's a new project. I'll hopefully can announce it within a week or so. We'll see. But anyway, I'm going to work on that for next week. So no class Sunday, this next Sunday. But the next Sunday, we'll go back to class every week again for another 3 weeks. So yeah, this week there was class. Next Sunday, there will not be a class. The next Sunday, there will be. So no class next Sunday. The other next thing is remember that worksheets and outlines are on Worksheets and outlines are on Patreon. So if you're a Patreon member, go ahead and go on there and you can pick up the worksheet for today's lesson. I think it has 16 problems on it, as well as the outline, which will be up in just an hour or so. Also, remember to join the Discord chat to stay updated with any projects, anything going on. Check out the Discord channel. That's where I am always in. So yeah, feel free. Now we're going to do a Q&A session. So feel free to ask any questions you have. This can be any level related to today's topic or not, and try to get some answers for it. And just at least we'll go into just 3:30, and then I'll stop the stream. I don't want to go too long. Okay. Unrelated to this lesson, when you get scam calls, do you speak to them in Korean to throw them off? I don't get scam calls because I don't answer my phone. That's the real answer. I simply do not answer my phone ever, unless it's from a number that I know. If it's important, like a doctor's office, they always leave a message. So I just listen to the messages. But I just stopped answering my phone completely because every day I would get one, maybe two scam calls. Robot calls. So I just stopped answering. And whenever I answer the phone, because I think it might be important, I'll just answer it and I won't say anything. I'll wait for them to talk. If they say hello, then I can know it's a person. Otherwise, I don't talk. Because it's usually a robot. If you'll listen, you'll hear silence and then it'll just click off. So they were trying to just call to get a scam. Do you have your vocab lists online? Like, what do you mean? My vocab lists for my books? You can find those on Memrise. Actually, someone made Memrise courses for all 3 of my Korean Made Simple books. So you can do the tests for all of those vocabulary without even having to get the books. When do I use 주셨어요? Kate June asked, when do I use 주셨어요? So 주셨어요 is the past tense of 주시다. There's just past tense. Past tense 요 form. 주시다 is the honorific version of 주다. Now, I don't have enough time to do a full lesson about honorifics, but since you're a member, 주시다 will be anytime you're talking honorifically about a person. So this will be someone else, not you, can 주시다 something to someone, to anyone, to you or to someone else. You can never 주시다 to someone else. So 제가 주셨어 makes no sense. 그 사람이, that person. 철수가 even. 철수가 주셨어요. The ending here will be depending on who you are talking with currently. So if you're talking with your best friend, 주셨어. If you're talking with a regular person, 주셨어요. If you want to be really polite, 주셨습니다 or whatever. This 주시다 is just the base form. So this will be someone else who honorifically, you're being extra respectful to the person who gave the gift. So if you said, 선생님이 주셨어. You're talking casually to a friend or someone who's close to you about a teacher who you're showing respect to because the teacher gave something. 선생님이 주셨어. So the teacher gave it to someone, whoever it is in the example. If you were to just say, 선생님이 줬어, that's fine too, but now you're no longer showing extra respect toward the teacher who gave the present. And usually for people like teachers or some family members, grandpas, grandmothers, people like that, people you want to show extra respect to in Korean culture, you would use honorifics as well as humble speech. So humble speech is just when you're talking about yourself, like 드리다, to give, like I gave. And there's only a couple humble verbs, period. And I made a live stream about that. But honorifics, there's lots of honorific verbs. Let's see. And I got another question from Sam Strongarm. Hey, not really a language question, but is it worth getting a Korail pass when traveling around Korea? If you're planning on traveling a lot, a lot, and you're going to take the Korail stuff. So subways, Korail trains specifically, not all of them are. In advance that you're going to be traveling a lot of the time. You're not going to be staying in one place very long. Then yes, you'll save a lot of money. If you're just going to Korea to hang out in Seoul, no, you would be better off just buying your tickets individually, or actually better yet, get a T-Money card. You can get them at any convenience store, or they even sell them at the airport and vending machines. Some subway stations, some of them have T-Money card dispensers where you put in a deposit. Now you have to put in a deposit to get these. I think it's like $5 or $10 or something. But you can get that back if you want to give it in. And then you can charge them. This is the easiest way to pay for everything for subways and buses and stuff like that. But if you're taking a train, though, trains probably don't take this. You'll want to use a cash or a credit card. The best way to get everything in Korea is just with a credit card. But if you're not a Korean, you don't have a Korean bank account, you can't do that, then T-Money card or just cash. Best way to incorporate 느낌 into my Korean sentences. 느낌 just means feeling. It's actually the noun form of 느끼다, to feel. 느낌, you can use 느낌이 나다 to get a feeling, like I got a feeling. 그런 느낌이 나요. Like I get that kind of feeling. 철수 볼 때마다, every time I see 철수, 그런 막 걔가 좀 이상하다는 느낌이 나. Like I kind of get the feeling like he's strange. So you can use this with an adjective, like adjective, like 이상한, like strange, 느낌이 나요. Feels strange, to feel like something. Or if you want to use it with a quote, like I just did. You can use that with the 는, like 다는 or 라는, 다는, 라는, like that with quote. 있다는, 한다는, like anything like that. 느낌이 나요. So that's how you'd use it. Let's see. So 주세요, 주셔요 in present. Yes, that's right. 주셔요 is in present. Everything's, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to mention. I forgot to mention that. Patreons plus YouTube members. You guys now are the people who get to decide all of the topics that go on the vote every week. So next time I do the vote, all of the topic suggestions will come initially will come from Patreons and YouTube members. So if you're a Patreon or a YouTube member, go to my Discord and make a suggestion for a topic. Go into the members channel. There's a members channel just where only members can join. And go make a suggestion for a topic, and these topic suggestions will go on the voting list. So everyone can vote, no matter if you're a member or not. But the initial suggestions, because I'm getting too many suggestions for topics, like all the most beginner ones to all the most advanced ones. So I decided the members of Patreons and YouTube members will get to make the initial suggestions. So if you want, I want to learn about how to say 도록, how to use the 도록 form. Okay, cool. Then suggest that. I'll add it to my list. And then everyone can vote on it. So if people don't want that, they can vote on something else. If there aren't enough topic suggestions from members, then we'll take regular suggestions from the rest of YouTube, which I have a list already I've made of dozens of suggestions from members. Not just regular YouTube viewers. So yeah, if you want to make a suggestion, you have a topic you really want to know, go into the members channel on Discord and make a suggestion, and I'll try to add it to the list if it hasn't already been done. So yeah, that's what someone's wondering. They said they wanted more intermediate levels. Next week there won't be a lesson, but the next lesson we do in 2 weeks, that will definitely be, most likely will be a advanced or intermediate topic. I don't have my YouTube link to Discord. Sam Strongarm, that's okay. You can leave a comment on my community tab. So if you don't have Discord linked, just go to my YouTube community tab and leave a suggestion on my most recent post. The most recent one, or whatever post you want, I'll see it. Leave a comment there, and I can check it out there too. If you don't want to connect with Discord or you don't use Discord, that's fine. Or alternatively, just send me an email. You can contact me, billy@gobillykorean.com. You can just leave a message on my channel. Any one of my videos, I'll see it because I'll see your member icon. You can leave a comment and make a suggestion anywhere you want. So don't worry about that. I'm just saying members is just an easy place, but any way you contact me, it works. Do you have a video over noun modifying form? Yes, I do. 현재 aesthetics. I have 2 videos actually. Turning action verbs into adjectives and turning descriptive verbs into adjectives. I did 2 live streams. So check my live stream list and you can find that. On the Google Doc that I linked, you can see every live stream I've ever done, and there are 2 live streams about that topic. As well as you can find the links to watch the abridged version, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. Christmas is this month. Oh yeah, that's right. When are you going to make more merchandise? Not yet. I need to wait until I can sell some more stuff. I need to sell some more merchandise so I can make more merchandise, because I need to know what type of stuff people like. Then I can know what type of stuff I should invest my time to designing. Because like I said, I'm trying really hard right now to finish a different project. So I could do more designing, but I want to make sure it's something that people would really want before I just design a bunch of, cups if no one's going to buy a cup. So I have to find out what people want so far. The thing that I thought people would like the most isn't actually the most popular design right now. The most popular design so far from my merchandise has been the Keep Calm and Study Korean t-shirts and Keep Calm and Study Korean cell phone cases. That stuff has been the most popular so far. But I thought people would like the 참 잘했어요, the stamp, the most, but that's not what people like the most. So I don't know. I'm deaf, so did you say shosso for like receive? Kate June. I'm not sure what you mean. Do I say that? Are you talking about 받으셨어? I talked about 받았어요, if you're talking about that. I didn't just say shosso. Shosso by itself would just be an ending. It doesn't have a meaning. That would just be an ending of an honorific form. Can you say 엄마께 전화 드렸어요? Yes, you can. Perfect. Ocean Discovery. 전화를 드렸어요. I gave a phone call to my mom. That's more of a high intermediate and mid intermediate topic, middle intermediate topic. How the 하다 verbs can become 주다. I mean, when they're in humble speech. So normally it'd be 전화하다, but the humble version of that is 전화를 드리다. So yeah, great. Will I do a stateside meetup? I don't know. It would have to be in LA because that's where I am. It would have to be somewhere close to here, but I'm not sure. I might do another Korea meetup next year. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't had too much demand for it. Maria, do you plan to make more books? Yes. Why isn't there any cacao shops in Europe? I'm not sure. I only have been to one cacao shop in my entire life. There is a cacao shop in Gangnam, in Korea, that I always pass by because I visit Gangnam like once or twice a week when I'm in Korea. It's a common meeting spot. I'll get to Korea like right after he leaves. That's right. No, October, I won't be there in October. Next year, I'll probably go again from April, May, and June. What Korean K-pop do you like from the 80s? 80s, I don't know too much Korean K-pop. Like I said, I've listened to it. I've listened to a lot of it here and there, but I don't have any like favorite groups or know very much about that style of music. Band recommendations. I really like the hip-hop producer Primary. You can search him really easily. He's super famous. It's very mainstream, but yeah, I really like his music. K-pop didn't really exist. No, that's not true. They had K-pop. Yes, they did have Korean pop music in the 80s. It's just a little bit different. It's not quite as poppy as you would know from today's music, but yeah, that would be their popular Korean music that they had in the 80s as well. Yeah. Already excited for the next book. Yeah, I'm excited too. Like I said, it's a new project I'm working on. I haven't announced it yet. I'll announce it soon. Hopefully, if everything goes well. At least once I get some stuff taken care of, then I can announce it. I've heard about racism in Korea. This might be for a different video. And it's not quite like it is in the US. It's different. But if you're wondering, will I be racially discriminated in Korea? The answer is probably no. How much do you love me, the amazing Ahimang? What do you mean straight up ignored you? You literally said that like 2 seconds after you even posted. You're like, how much do you love me? He ignored me. Like, that's what you did. You didn't give me any second. You didn't give me a second to even read it. Fine. Okay. Yeah. Guess that answers my question. Okay, Ahimang, yes, you're very appreciated for being my most talkative, most helpful moderator. 너무너무 감사하고. Oh, Vortex. My Korean is much better than last year. That's great, yes. It's always good if your Korean's improving. Any other Korean questions? Again, you can ask beginner level questions or advanced level questions. I'm only going to go for another 10 minutes and then I'll shut down the stream for today. Let's see here. Scroll up and see if I missed any other questions. Maya 123456 asked, how can I evaluate my Korean level? Check out my Korean FAQ video series. I made a video there about how you can judge, how you can grade your own Korean ability. For how many years have you been learning Korean? This year is my 14th year. Yeah, it's been over 14 years. Next year will be my 15th year learning Korean. You make my noons cry. Do you have any reading recommendations for upper beginners? Yes, I will. Yes, I do. Upper beginners, let's see. No, upper beginners is hard. Upper beginners, you can't do too much reading yet. But you could try to read things like comics. Comics are usually a little bit more feasible because it's casual conversation. So it's a little bit easier to understand comics. So like, webtoons, mana, that kind of stuff. Also something like simple news articles. So 동아 news, DONGA, has a kids news version that you can read. It's not really easy. It's still advanced Korean, but it's easier than a regular adult news article. So you can check out 동아 Kids. Though that is really better, I'd say, for intermediates. They could get more out of it. But yeah, you could probably try that. Do you have any recommendations for learning vocabulary necessary for understanding the news reports in Korea? Oh, that would be full-on advanced. You would have to read a lot of news. The only way would be reading lots of newspaper, reading lots of news articles, watching lots of news too, but reading lots of news articles will really give you, because it's the vocabulary, as you said. It's really the vocabulary. Oh, a new member, James Sims. James. Oh, I didn't think. What dab do I do? James Sims. I gotta do a Pokemon dab. Let's do the Meowth dab. Meowth. That's right. Like humiliating myself for memberships and donations. Thank you, James Sims, and welcome. So many of us now, yes. Jigglypuff. Been trying to find children's stories online. Yeah, there are children's stories, but the problem you're going to run into is a lot of them are children's stories, the original Korean for the children's stories, which can be kind of difficult. Now, I think Talk to Me in Korean might have a kid's book with kids' stories in Korean. I'm not sure, but you could check there if they have any like kids' stories resources. Your favorite Korean variety show? I was watching Genius for a while, but then I got bored of it. So I don't think I have a favorite variety show right now. Vortex Game asked, how can I make a longer sentence in Korean? Vortex, check out the live stream I did about Korean sentence structure. That'll be right up your alley. There's also a condensed version, but I recommend watching the whole thing because I feel like the condensed versions are, when you're learning something for the very first time, the condensed versions are a little too fast. Like you want the whole thing. You want time to breathe and think about it. So yeah, check that out. Check that out, and that'll be exactly what you want. The most common ones. That could be a separate whole live stream. There are a lot of abbreviations, and if I were to try to list them, I'm sure I would miss most of them. But no, Adibs, that could be a suggestion for a new live stream about common Korean abbreviations. Jesse. James Sims. Team Rocket blasts off at the speed of light. Oh, that would actually be Jesse's line. Team Rocket blasts off at the speed of light. Surrender now or prepare to fight. Like that. 고마워, Johan. Nice, Vortex. Let's see. 드렸어요 and 받았어요 were the formal forms. 드렸어요 is not formal. 드렸어요 is itself is humble. And Poya, I would recommend checking out the politeness levels live stream because that'll answer all those questions you're having about that. But if you wanted to know what the casual forms of 드렸어요 and 받았어요 they would just be 드렸어 and 받았어. But I don't really think that's the question you're asking. I think what you're asking is specifically how those are different. King Dragon sends his regard. Yes, that's right. the Pro ZD or whatever, that video. And actually, one of the, when I was a kid, my sister was really into Japanese anime. And so when I was a kid, she used to watch lots of Japanese movies and Japanese cartoons. That was I want to say early 90s. So like 91, 92. And so there wasn't very much in the way of Japanese animation that was available in the United States. But she did show some stuff. I remember some weird shows we used to watch, Ranma and a couple stuff like that. So some of the early voice impressions I tried to do were from like old, pre-Pokemon, like those type of anime shows, because my sister would watch them all the time. That should be the ending dab for today, the Team Rocket dab. Oh, ProZD. Yeah, I think ProZD was imitating like that type of voice. Anyway. Yeah, you'd have to spin off in the distance and then have like the flash, the star. Ding! Oh, I thought there were other verbs, just not omitting yo. Oh, okay. I love Rama. Yeah, I watched it, but then the ending was terrible. It's absolutely the worst. Not the worst. It was really bad. It was up there in like worst anime endings. Top 10 worst anime deaths. Yeah, it was terrible ending. No one dies, but it's just terrible ending. Neighbor or Tom, which is better for looking at worth? Neighbor. Tom is simpler. So I think that if you're trying to use a dictionary as a beginner, you might enjoy Daum better because it's not as cluttered. Daum has, they show you less information than Neighbor. But Neighbor just has everything. So as someone who uses a dictionary, I use a dictionary on a regular basis for like complicated words and stuff like that, or when I'm writing lessons to make sure I'm giving a good definition for a word. I use Neighbor all the time. So I need Neighbor. But if you're learning Korean the first time, you might prefer Daum just because it's simpler to use. Now, if someday Neighbor comes out with a basic version, like a friendly version then they would win because Neighbor just has everything in it. Worse than Game of Thrones? You know what? No, not that bad. That's what I said. It's up there. Not that bad. The Game of Thrones anime is probably the worst, one of the worst endings ever. But yeah, it's up there. Here's a beginner's question. Is 할 and han just a conjugation of 하다? Yes. If so, when do you detach it from 하다 verbs like that? Michael, that's a good question. 할 is a future tense. Future. So here you have 하다. I need to get rid of this marker. Future tense conjugation of 하다 when it's used as an adjective. And the past tense when it's fast. The fast tense, it's very fast. The past tense of 하다 in the adjective form is 한. So I did actually a lesson about this. Check out my live stream. Maybe you can watch the abridged version just to get a quick summary of it. But I did a live stream about how to change verbs into how to change action verbs into adjectives, as well as how to change descriptive verbs into adjectives. The reason I have to give you both is because 하다 can be both action and descriptive verbs. So you would have to watch both of those live streams. But this would be the future tense and this would be the past tense. So like 공부하다 means to study. 공부하다 means to study. So if you said 공부할 사람, or actually 공부할 주제, subject. 주제 meaning subject. The subject that I'm going to study, 할, that I will study, like that. Or if you said 공부한 주제, the subject that I studied, past tense. That's how it works. But like I said, you would need to have a full live stream to cover it. It's not something I can just briefly go over here in 1 minute. But check out the live stream where I give lots of examples and cover how to use that. There are 2 live streams, turning action verbs into adjectives and turning descriptive verbs into adjectives. Okay, we'll just go a couple more minutes here, then I'll finish the live stream for today. Do you have a recommendation for improving spontaneity when speaking Korean? Yes, actually, I made a video about that with my friend, which I will be uploading in a few weeks. It's about how to fake being good at Korean. And basically, we give some general tips, but we also give some specific phrases that you can use to kind of fake, not lying, faking, you're not going to trick anyone, but how you can keep a conversation going to get that spontaneity. Spontaneity? Yeah, when you're speaking Korean. So just wait a few more weeks and you can watch that video. Okay. Neighbor is just too complicated. Yeah, I agree. I saw Keardic. Keardic, I thought that is the same thing. Yeah, Neighbor is complicated because it'll show you every language that it has at the same time. So you have to select specifically English. Like there's the options at the top, and you want to just select 국어, I believe. 국어 means country language, or that's how Koreans talk about their own language. Like they don't take 한국어 tests in Korea, they take 국어 tests. So that's how they refer to their own language, is 국어. So if you search 국어, it'll show you the definition for Korean stuff in Korean, but it'll also show English with that. Or you can click the one at the top that says 영어, 영어 meaning English, and just to filter out all the other stuff. Otherwise, Naver just shows you everything. So it can be a bit overwhelming. Billy, what are your favorite YouTube videos? Oh, I really like Captain Disillusion, but he doesn't upload very much, so he's getting kind of lazy. Don't mean to call him out, but Captain Disillusion is getting a bit lazy. He only uploads like when he feels like it. I also like Primitive Technologies. A lot of people know those videos. The guy who just builds stuff without a shirt, like makes stuff out of dirt. Those are nice and relaxing to watch. And then a bunch of equipment review channels I subscribe to, which are just channels that like review equipment, because I always film videos, so I'm curious about that stuff. But that's pretty much it. I don't watch anything else. Let's see. Going to prepare for my tuition class. Okay. 8% better. All right. So yes, thank you for coming for today's stream. Like I said, I don't know how I'm going to get out of here. I think I'm just kind of stuck. Wait a minute. What is that? Is that a car? Is someone coming? Oh my goodness. I think it's a car. I think it's someone's here. Guys. Hey. Can I get in? Yeah? No, I'm going. Well, I was going that way, but yeah, we can go back that way. I got my bike in the back. Can I put that in? Okay. Great. Yeah, just give me a minute to finish up. Okay, just give me a minute. All right? Okay. Wow, that's great luck. I thought I'd be stuck here forever. But looks like I'm saved. I got a car just came and they said they can get me out, so they're putting my bike on the back of their car right now. So that's great. I thought I'd be stuck out here all day. Okay. Yes, thank you everyone for coming. Again, get the worksheet for today's lesson on Patreon. Thank you to my donors, supporters, Alex Full Metal, Poya S, DJ Hawako. I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be. Vexil for being a member and the $10 donation, Girl Next Door and James Sims, new members, Carol L for the $5 donation. And I will see you guys again in 2 weeks. 그럼 다음에 또 봐. All right, let's go. Hey, thanks. I'll get in this side. I call shotgun. Thanks. Oh, these are so dumb. Oops, my mic's on. Oh, I got another donation. James. Thanks, James. Thank you, James Sim, again, and welcome as well. See you again next time. Wait! I'm coming back. Don't leave without me.